Tourism plays a vital role in any nation's economy. It adds to the gross domestic product of a nation. In order to increase the GDP of Lagos State, the Lagos State Ministry of Tourism and Culture organized a one-day summit to sensitize Lagosians on how to make Lagos State a tourism destination in Africa. In his speech, the governor of Lagos State, Mr Akinwunmi Ambode, said we should be proud of our heritage and culture and also develop our waterfront by providing a recreational facilities and encourage investors to invest more in tourism infrastructure.
Our commitment to find alternative platforms that can enrich our state and also propel us to be continually prosperous. We are very proud of our culture and heritage. So the Lagos Tourism Master Plan, which is the ultimate end product of this summit, is premised in the context of this analogy. There is nobody that is going to tell the story of the black people if Lagos does not stand up to say that story. That's where we're going.
The Minister for Information and Culture, Tourism, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, explained some of the role of tourism through video documentary and mentioned some of the importance of tourism to a country.
Traditions and customs, in addition to hundreds of mouth-watering dishes in the national cuisine. It is also a country steeped in spirituality, with as many Muslims as Christians. It is the origin of the world's oldest practiced philosophical system in Ifa, also known as Afa. It is practiced as Santeria, Candomblé, Palo, Umbanda, and Voodoo in many countries around the world. Nigeria also boasts the oldest known unbroken paternal monarchy of more than 10,000 years, in addition to thousands of monarchies and numerous sultanates going back many hundreds of years.
You saw in the movie, or in the video, over a period of about 379 years, between 8 to 9 million Nigerians were captured and sold into slavery, predominantly to Cuba, USA, West Indies, and Brazil. Genetic science has proven that 60 to 65% of all African Americans have Yoruba genetics. Science has also indicated that 91% of Brazilians of African origin have Yoruba genetics. However, African Americans have been led to believe that they generally originate from other parts of Nigeria. It is time to change that narrative.
The Commissioner for Tourism, Art and Culture, Steve Ayorinde, while giving his welcome address, said tourism will create more jobs for the youths in Lagos State.
In 3 years, our dear state has grown solid, smart, and saturated with ideas to take Project This to another level. In taking stock of where we are, therefore, I'm obliged to welcome you all to a platform that will provide us with an ideal roadmap through which we must seek to double our pace, identify the low-hanging fruits, and begin to execute our early win strategies in our quest to make tourism a profitable creative economy as the new oil and gas.
The keynote speaker and special guest of honor, His Excellency Mr. John Dramani Mahama, former President of the Republic of Ghana, utilizes the Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Akinwunmi Ambode, on the renovation of the Murtala Mohammed Airport Road, for this will enable tourism in the state.
Positioning itself as a favorite destination for tourism in order to get a share of this huge cake is a very wise decision by Governor Ambode and his team. We cannot develop tourism to the level that it can become a key driver of our economy without development and solid infrastructure. Thankfully, Lagos is in preparation for the launch of the Lagos State Tourism Master Plan, has begun upgrading and expanding critical infrastructure, including transportation, roads, and of course, the recent reclamation that is ongoing. The tourism plan must therefore not focus only on what new tourism facilities to develop, but how to ensure that the state is made attractive to tourists, improved and well-developed quality medical services, enhanced transportation services, high-speed mobile and data services, and of course, guaranteed security of any visitors to the Lagos state.
Some of the stakeholders included the former senator and minister, Senator Mosilio Obanikoro, Commissioner for Waterfront Infrastructure Development, Dr. Samuel Adejare, business mogul Shina Pella, and some Nollywood actors also commented about this summit.
If you even look at Lagos itself, it is a touristic location waiting to be tapped. I have traveled the length and breadth of Lagos, and I know Lagos like the back of my hand. And if you go through our waterways and see the beauty of Lagos, you will know that there is no travel destination or tourist destination in the world that is better than what we have in Lagos. But what is missing is the fact that we've not been faithful to what God has given us in terms of development. If we are able to develop it to the fullest, and coupled with the fact that Lagos has done a lot in securing Lagos, now I can say authoritatively that we have succeeded in creating a 24-hour economy in Lagos. That is, we are no longer afraid, though a lot of people are still not taking advantage of it, but we are no longer afraid to go out late in the night anymore.
People will come, visitors will come with their money, and they will spend this money here. And as they do, our GDP, our economy, if they buy anything from anybody, it goes into that person's pocket. And with whatever you make out of your market is the profit you make, you use for yourself, and you use to improve on that business. And that's what we are saying. Let these foreigners bring. You heard what the minister said, about $55 billion is being spent every year on tourism by these visitors. So why can't we bring them to Lagos to come and see what we have here, our Nigeria, so that they can spend that part of that money in here? We are looking for foreign investment. This is another way of you saying you are inviting foreign investment into your country, into our city. They will bring all this money here and spend it here, and that will improve our businesses.
I think it is high time for us to start looking into tourism in Nigeria. And tourism in Nigeria is the only sector in Nigeria that I think that connects the rest of the sectors together. For example, aviation, agriculture, commerce. If you have a tourist come to Nigeria and decides that I want to spend $1,000, that the $1,000, probably maybe this person is flying in through a Nigerian airline. You're already tapping into you're already feeding the aviation industry. The person is going to sleep in a hotel. You understand? The person is going to go out and eat in a Nigerian restaurant. You're already, feeding the agricultural sector. The person is going to go and do shopping, maybe buy some Nigerian attire and everything. You're already feeding into commerce as well. So I just believe that, the governor is doing so well, taking that step.
For me, I think it's a good initiative because this is the first time Lagos is having this kind of summits. And what this is supposed to do essentially is to bring everybody involved in that ecosystem together. We're talking, when you talk tourism, a lot of people, don't have, an understanding that this involves hoteliers, it involves, people in art space, filmmakers, musicians, artists, and all of that. And everybody who's actually doing business, within that ecosystem. So I think it's a good initiative. I think this will also bridge the gap, between the consumers and, the producers. So I give it to the state and the governor for this initiative.
Definitely, this tourism and culture summit that we came for is another brilliant idea that can assist the economy of this country. I believe that. And I've been to so many summits. I must tell you, Lagos Summit is quite different from others.
This is a most welcome development in our in our history in terms of developing the creative economy. As a filmmaker, one thing I cherish is a situation where tourism thrives, because as tourism thrives, our industry is developed, and a different angle to boosting Nigeria's economy. This kind of conference going on, people will begin to see what tourism can add to the economy, which is wonderful.
The founder and CEO of Nikki Art Gallery Limited, Chief Mrs. Nikki Okundaye, said the governor is playing a vital role in the tourism sector that other governors should follow suit.
Let's thank the organizer and our governor for supporting the tourism, because any country that lost their heritage, lost their culture, is not a country. And that is what the governor is creating awareness. And as an artist, this is our own line. I appreciate him, and we love him to stay there forever.
The governor also visited some of the cultural stands.